You are tuned to Anywhere the Needle Drops. Hey world, this is your host, Justin Flago. We are here to talk all things music and culture in the Michiana region and beyond. And in the studio today, we have none other than Be the Band. That's right, Be the Band. You have to say it that way, you have to feel it that way, and you will understand why when you talk to Be the Band. We crammed the whole lot of them in here. We had Isaac and the two Evans in the room. We even had Spike the Cat. The only person that was missing was drummer Birch, but we even managed to get him in here later on in the episode by phone. So we had the whole of Be the Band in the house one way or the other, and it was a ton of fun. We got into the origins of the band as well as all sorts of fun, how these folks came together, what they are doing with their sound, what kind of weird Be merchandise that we could all come up with. Not to mention Dungeons and Dragons characters. There's a little something for everyone here. And of course, there's just Be the Band, who a fantastic set of musicians doing the thing right here in Michiana, making some great music. And we're going to hear a chunk of that great music right now. We've got a song for you. It is Dandelion Man. After Dandelion Man, of course, we'll get to my chat with Be the Band. Enjoy.
stumble when you stand. You wanna use your feet, but you've forgotten if you can. But feet slowly learning, wheels are slowly turning. Your entire life you've been nothing but a seed. Now that you're a plant, you don't know what that even means. And you wanna be a man, but your skin is leafy green. And I think you've gotta earn it, yeah, you've gotta earn it. Oh, it's time to go. I think you know it. Way down the road there, I can show you. To and fro there, will you follow? Keeping a hope that home is what you'll find. 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 Safe and sound, dandelion man. Think you're so secure, but your head is in the sand. Think you've seen the world, but you barely understand. Shake it off and get a move on. Go and get your groove on. Dandelion man, you got yourself this far. By sticking to the plan, did you know it'd be this hard? But now you're ready to roll. Your shoes are laced up tight. Head out across the globe, you don't know what you'll find. Oh, it's time to go. I think you know it. Way down the road where I can show you. To and fro the wind you'll follow. But keeping a hope that home is what you'll find.
So be the band, or is it be the band? Like, what's the, is there a proper way to say it, with the exclamation
point?
But
we just kind of say it all as one word, like be the band.
Be the band. All right.
I like the exclamation.
Yeah.
I mean,
like wham.
Yeah. It feels good. It feels good.
Does.
Be the band. Yeah. What's the origin of that name? We're on, by the way. Just we're going. So
okay, cool.
We got cats roaming around. We're hanging out in the Red Check studio with Be the Band. So let's do this thing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So Evan and I got asked by Birch for like a little house show thing to
I'm the host and I'm banging the microphone with my water bottle. Real professional here. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if we wanted to just throw a little group together, it was going to be like pretty jammy. Evan came up with songs, and there were no other names thrown around. I think it was just like Birch, Evan. Just, yeah.
And then poor Isaac. That's the exclamation point. It's just turned upside down.
Yeah. So we added Isaac after that show because he was there.
Yes.
We groveled to him.
So we did grovel.
I made him beg a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, like, there is no way Isaac's going to be free enough to do this, like, stupid little band with the three of us who, like, don't really know what we're doing at all. And Yeah, it was awesome. I
Yeah.
was super stoked Isaac joined.
Oh, it's the first like professional band I joined.
Wow.
Like officially
is
joined.
this a professional band?
It is now.
I think
Okay,
we
cool.
are.
I mean, you're on the show, so I officially declare you.
Yes.
We've been doing this show for like a dozen years, so I think you can call yourselves professionals now
All
by
right,
virtue of being a
go.
guest.
About a year after Isaac joined, he was like, "Guys, I've got a really, really good idea. What if the exclamation point is an I? What if we make that an I, like so that I can
Yes.
be included too?" And we're like, "Isaac, that was
That's like
the
that.
idea from the very
I
beginning."
came up with that in January.
Okay, well, you guys didn't let me know.
Well, I mean, Beef was thrown around,
Beef the band.
like Fisher, his last name. But we got a lot of vegan friends, so
Oh yeah,
my mom would not have let us use that name, I think.
Birch's whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the iconography of the bee works a little bit better than like a cow.
oh yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
it's
with a patty.
yeah. No, there's something in it, and it fits the you know. The first time I saw you guys live was the show with Abby at Ignition,
Yeah.
and it very much fits the energy that you guys bring forward in the live shows. I mean, it's you know, there's a like a very exuberant energy to you all, and I think that B logo really kind of goes with that. So you know, it's yeah. So so how long has the band been together? How long has this been since you guys had that conversation?
I had approaching 3 years
Yeah.
in November.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Did take a 6-month hiatus from like April to November or May. Yeah, like May to November of 22.
Yeah. So we formed in October, November-ish of 21. First show was April of 22. Then
Yeah, we're good.
then
Spike has gone up in elevation here, so we're gonna see how this plays out.
then June to November of 22, we did a hiatus. I hiked the Appalachian Trail, and then
Nice.
we've been active ever since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. What were you guys doing while he was, out wandering the earth?
Both Birch and I were on a just like study abroad
Oh,
type
nice.
thing. He
Okay.
was gone for 3 months was he in
Senegal.
Senegal?
Nice. Okay.
And I was in Guatemala.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you?
I was working.
You were just hanging out.
Yeah,
Gaming.
pretty much a lot of gaming. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I know, Isaac obviously holds roles in multiple bands, but what about you guys? Are you guys doing other projects besides B?
We both previously played with Rebel Noir
Oh, nice. Okay.
and the
Yeah, yeah.
Accomplices.
That was awesome.
Love Rebel, yeah.
Yeah, we played horns.
She's
and
been in here,
Naps.
yeah.
Currently, kind of just like side projects. We have a couple musician friends down in Indy that we want to do like a little demo tape with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Not much
some,
else.
some solo stuff, songwriting, whatever, but
Nice.
no other like formal stuff.
Okay.
This is where all the energy goes.
There you go. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So we'll start. Well, I don't know. Evan number 1, Evan number 2. I don't know.
Yeah, he's the first E. I'm the second E.
Is that how it is?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
my E. So we'll start with you, Evan. What was your start in playing music? I mean, have you been playing since you were a kid, or like how'd you jump into that world?
Yeah, so I started taking piano lessons in 2nd grade
Okay.
and took those through graduating high school.
Is that something the
was-
parents were encouraging or
yes,
pushing on you?
like-
Okay.
like heavily,
All right.
'cause they both. My dad has more of a musical background, but yeah, it's like they realized pretty early on that I was not going to be doing sports or
Sure.
really into that competitive stuff. But yeah, didn't really start liking it until about 7th grade, where I realized I could like print out sheet music and play like video game soundtracks. I was like, oh, I don't have to just play like these etudes or exercises. And I picked up trumpet in middle school band
Sure. Okay.
and largely played trumpet throughout college and not piano. And then, yeah, like joined a band senior year of college where I did learn how to play piano in a band setting as opposed to classically trained. And then, yeah, once I moved back to Goshen after college, just started playing a lot more.
Nice. So you came up in Goshen?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So, what franchise were you playing? Were you putting out those notes for the video games? Which one were you going for? Were we doing like little Streets of Rage or?
Mostly Mario.
Mario, okay.
Mario and Zelda were the big ones.
I have been known to just throw on the Streets of Rage 2 soundtrack from time to time, just when I'm cleaning house or whatever. I mean, it's a banger, you know.
Wait, what's Streets of Rage?
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Classic
arcade?
side-scrolling fighting game from the Genesis days. You're basically just like running around fighting the corrupt gangs of the Streets of Rage, all working your way all the way up to their evil mob leader, Mr. X, and it's great. You have your character, and they each have their special power. It's classic Genesis video gaming. It's great. I still play it to this day.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll listen to the soundtrack on the
Yeah, and the soundtrack's amazing. Yeah. All right, other Evan, what about you? What's your start in music?
Yeah. My brother taught me how to play guitar when I was really little.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to be like him, so I played the guitar. But only acoustic, strictly acoustic. I didn't like the way the electric guitar sounded. I didn't know how to make it sound good at all. And then starting in 6th grade, I played the saxophone in band.
Nice.
So that was all middle school, all of high school. Guitar was just a thing I fiddled around with, just kind of for fun on the side. Did not do it in any sort of formal setting. And then in college, joined a band with some of my friends. First for like the Goshen College talent show kickoff, and then
Awesome band.
and that was the first time I'd like ever played electric guitar. I didn't even know like what a power chord was. I knew nothing about the electric guitar or like that style of playing at all. My friend Harrison, the band was Harry and the Rattlings, which we then shortened to just the Rattlings. But he taught me everything. And then
You gotta knock that ego down a little bit when you
Yeah,
got that name in the
exactly.
band. You know, it's like, well, you know.
when the rest of us, started like being able to do more than just follow his lead, we were like, okay, maybe we should make it a little more egalitarian here. And then didn't really write much music though until COVID, 2020. Wasn't doing any more rehearsals for choir, which I was in college.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I still want to make music, but no one's like putting music onto me in like a rehearsal setting, like with choir or whatever, or jazz band. And I started writing music.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Your brother still play?
Some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you surpassed him? It's okay to say so. Are you better than your brother?
I think probably at this point.
He's a little busy right now.
He's busy. He just had a kid.
Oh yeah, that'll do
Yeah.
it. That'll do it. Yeah,
That'll do it.
You got to pass for at least a while when that happens. So, what about you, Isaac? We've had this conversation before, but this is a new audience. So tell me about your background in music.
Yeah, so I got my start playing trombone in 6th grade band, and
Coolest instrument ever.
Oh, it really is. But then all of our tuba players quit. So my band director came up to me and he's like, hey, do you want to make the switch to tuba? And so I did. And that's what I played throughout junior high. But I wasn't too into music then. I was more into like football and basketball and, thinking I was going to be an NBA player. I grew pretty tall. I knew I was going to be tall.
Yeah.
tall.
For the audience at home, Isaac is a tall person. This
Yes.
is a constant source of discussion when you hang out with him enough. He's very, very tall.
I'm proud of it.
Except for when you're pulling the gear out of the trailer. Then,
then it's
an issue.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now then I got cut in 7th and 8th grade basketball 2 years in a row.
I'm sorry. I did not know that.
You laughed a little too hard at that one.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, man. I'm so sorry, Isaac.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
still a source of trauma.
Yeah, I could
It
see
hurts.
that.
But so then I just decided I was gonna throw myself into music, and I wanted to pick up bass because I grew up seeing my uncle and my grandpa play in bands together, and so I told my uncle one day, I'm like, hey, can you teach me how to play bass? And like the next day, he dropped off the very first bass that his parents, my grandparents, gave to him, and started teaching me bass, and I loved it. Played in jazz bands, and yeah, everything throughout.
Nice. Yeah. So, and any of you feel free to jump in on this one, but as you're exploring music as kids, what are you listening to, and is that influencing what you're playing? Is it something? Are you thinking about stuff that your parents played, or what you're into? What are you going toward as you become musicians?
For me, it was definitely still my brother. He listened to like super, like soft, like acoustic singer-songwriter, and then like pop punk, like
all right.
Green Day, AFI.
Okay, all right.
So,
all right.
but for a while there, I only listened to like the acoustic singer-songwriter. I'd be like scrolling through playlists on Spotify, and this is embarrassing to look back on, but like I would start a song and be like, okay, I like this, and then like drums would come in. I'd be like, no. I'd skip it. I'd skip it and be like, that's not what I want. That's not what I want.
A gentle soul, that's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
For a while there, at least.
Well, in our house, we grew up listening to a lot of movie soundtracks.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's what I got into, like Star Wars.
Okay, so we're talking the actual scores, not just
yes.
the collected songs for the Batman movie or whatever.
Yes.
But okay.
Yeah, like musical scores. Some, like, musical theater, not as much. Like, I think the earliest CDs that I was listening to when I was 3 were the soundtracks to Les Mis and Fiddler on the Roof.
Nice.
Yeah, and then when I learned what video games were, that took over my whole life. So I listened to those soundtracks a lot. When I joined jazz band in high school, I started listening to a lot of jazz. And then, it wasn't really to my senior year of high school when I found out about music with lyrics in it. So yeah, a lot of instrumental music has shaped what I play.
Okay. So even when you're listening, to the soundtracks and stuff, you mentioned musical theater. I mean, are you like musicals at all? So like Little Shop of Horrors or any of that stuff?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad is more into that, and just theater in general.
Nice.
Evan can tell you what song from the Ratatouille soundtrack you're listening to in the first like 10 seconds.
That's amazing.
Any song in that whole soundtrack.
So I host music bingo at the brewery down the street from here.
Nice.
And a couple of times ago, I thought I was really clever, and I did a round based on music soundtracks. And I thought people are going to love this. They're going to be like, oh, I think that's from Indiana Jones or whatever. People hate it because no one could recognize. Like, I needed you in that room because everyone was like, this is stupid. Every John Williams song sounds the same. And I was just like, all right, I guess we want to do this round again.
Right now I listen to a bit of everything, but a lot of like jam bands.
Nice.
King Gizzard has been my top artist for 3 years or so.
All right.
A lot of Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Isaac? What were you digging into as a kid?
Yeah, so I grew up with my dad playing a lot of like classic rock and big band jazz.
Nice.
So that's what I started to learn first. Was I started to learn some of that classic rock stuff from like the Beatles, the Eagles, and all them, and also some like big band lines, and trying to learn how to walk on a bass and create some walking lines, which helped me out when I joined jazz band, and I try to blend that into the playing now too. But yeah, then once like senior year of high school, like Evan, I started listening to more types of music. And now it's mainly been a lot of like indie rock.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you listen to right now in the indie rock realm? Any favorites?
I'm super in love with this dude, Peter McPoland.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's
I
got
don't
an
know that one.
insane voice.
Okay. All right. To check that out. So when you guys put the band together, was there a particular sound you were aiming for, or was it just kind of you guys became the sum of your parts? What was the plan there?
I think
Yeah, kind of both. I mean, the way it worked when we first played, like Evan had a couple, like 3 or 4 songs that he just written for voice and guitar, and I kind of just added some texture on piano, and Birch did drum parts, and Isaac eventually on bass. But yeah,
I mean, at the beginning, I felt like I was still really, really new to writing songs for like a band, and even now I feel like I try to do too much. So
Yeah.
part of a lot of the learning for me in B has been when to step back and allow the other instruments to shine more.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I was listening to a ton of Goose when we first started B, and I still love the band, but especially when I was first writing those songs, I was listening to a ton of Goose. They're like a jam, indie rock
Okay.
band. Super fun. I mean, yeah.
So now, I mean, what's that process look like for you guys? I mean, are you starting with the lyrics you're working on, or what does that look like in the room as you start to begin the songwriting process?
It typically begins. Someone's got a stem, some sort of like idea. Isaac will sometimes send. You'll send a chord progression on a guitar or a bass line, or I'll kind of have a melody in my head sometimes. I think I write better when I start with like a lyric or like a vocal line, and then try to put guitar to that, and then build everything else from that. But
Sure.
it's kind of, at this point, I feel like it's started every which way. There hasn't been like one consistent methodology, which is fun.
Yeah.
I feel like it ends up making a lot of our songs sound very different.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and there's no in any whatever your form of creativity is, there isn't a set of rules for how you put the thing together. I mean, as a writer, I wrote my first full length screenplay in the last couple of years, and I stole from everyone else's methods and then kind of came up with this amalgamation of my own method from those pieces. And when I sit down for the next one, I honestly don't know what that's going to look like because it was constantly evolving through that process.
Sure.
So I'm very curious to see what I end up doing as I do the next one and sit down.
What was the screenplay?
It's called The Good Man. It's a post-apocalyptic horror story. Thematically, it's pretty much about hope versus despair.
Cool.
In trying times. It got a little unfun to write as world events occurred over the last 8 or so years, but
Have you read The Road by Cormac McCarthy?
I have, and I definitely needed a happy palate cleanser after that. Yes.
That book is so intense.
Yeah, it really is. And the movie too. Did you watch the movie?
No, I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, it's very depressing. They do a great job of translating the book and making you depressed on a screen. So there you go.
Here we go.
Yeah. I love Cormac. Blood Meridian. Any of you ever read that one?
Mm-mm.
That's an intense book. It has simultaneously some of the most beautiful prose I've ever read in my life, and it is also possibly the darkest thing I've ever read in my life. Like, you walk away feeling a little icky. It's so dark.
Whoa.
And it took me a long time to finish it. It's brilliant, but it's also very, very, very hard. Yeah. So Cormac McCarthy,
Awesome.
so
Seriously.
a modern legend, but very, very hard read sometimes. Not the feel good stuff.
No.
So, yeah. So, are you guys doing a lot of shows this summer? We're here kind of pushing toward July. What's the rest of your year looking like?
We're not doing a ton of shows this summer. I think nothing in July.
No.
A lot
We
of-
do
Except for,
have something in July.
Oh, do tell.
we are going to be recording
Nice.
our next studio album.
Okay. All
And
right.
It's going to be all of the songs we wrote first. So our first studio album, Ramen Swamp, was all the songs that I wrote during and immediately following the AT.
Okay.
But all the songs we wrote before the trail in that first 6 months, we haven't recorded any of those.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is going to be the original B songs.
Okay. All
Called
right.
Welcome to the Hive.
Have you guys been, interacting with those songs in that time, or have they been sitting on the shelf? I mean, have you been playing them live or practices or what?
Still play almost all of them at every show.
Okay. So they're not. It's not like you're diving into stuff that's.
No.
Okay.
I would say the previous album had a lot more folky parts to it,
Yeah.
more acoustic. These are more jam, expansive, rocky, poppy.
Nice. Okay.
The ones that are most fun to play live.
Sure.
I think.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm just kidding.
So, is it weird going back to that stuff after you've already done this kind of, in between album that's more recent, more relevant to things you've been through?
Not really. Just because we have been playing and reworking all these songs in the past couple years.
Yeah.
So like even just last night we played one of the songs with like a completely new feel to it, kind of like a calypso shuffly groove to this song that like when I originally wrote it was like very slow, soft, kind of somber, to give it a lot more like kind of punch and groove was really fun.
Yeah.
But it's new, they're always changing.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So you guys have been, I've seen you play out in Goshen a couple of times. Do you get this direction very often, or even up into Michigan? What's your kind of range as far as your travels, your touring and stuff, playing out?
I mean, I think we're open to playing wherever,
Mhm.
Something that's drivable, but we haven't played in Michigan at all, have we?
No.
I think the
Oh.
farthest we've played is South Bend.
Oh,
no,
wow.
we played Fort Wayne.
True.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that like? Like, how are you guys getting the word out there to these venues to play?
It is a journey.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It is definitely a part of the band deal that I knew nothing about
Yeah.
starting out, and I still feel like, as an artist, you have to do so many things, and there's so many artists that do that side of music so well. Abby being one of them, Rebel.
Yeah.
Nikisha also does an amazing job of doing that.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at it. So.
Is that mostly you handling that?
No, I mean we
Okay.
all kind of pick at it different angles, different bits and pieces, but yeah, it's a journey for sure.
Yeah.
We're hoping to gear up
Yeah.
a little bit.
Evan's probably the best at like the schmoozing and keeping good contacts.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I would say
Okay.
better
Thank you.
than me.
I overthink everything that I send, everything that I put in an email.
Well, and it feels like, you mentioned a couple of our other local acts. It does feel like we have a very communal local scene, so everyone's kind of helping each other out, where they're calling you in to play at their shows or, openers or that kind of thing. So, I mean, what, how do you guys work with other bands in the scene?
We've had a ton of fun playing with other bands. The Loose Associates is like a duo out of South Bend.
Mhm.
They're a ton of fun to play with. We opened for them, and then they opened for us, and they in January, and they actually played one whole set with us. So we like sent them the songs beforehand.
Yeah.
And like it was the set that they joined us for was like the recreation of our first released music, which was the Greenhouse Sessions, our first NPR Tiny Desk contest entry.
Yeah.
And we filmed this whole set in a greenhouse, and so they joined us for that set when we recreated that in January.
That's
Just
awesome.
an example. Yeah, they're a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, another example would be Potential Novelty, a Goshen College band who formed up to open for us, I think is what Birch told me. Was
Really?
that for East Cella?
Oh yeah.
Birch's college house put on. Yeah. His college house was called East Hall, and they put on like this concert in their backyard, called it East Cella. And
That was fun.
That was. We played that one, and
No cease and desist calls or anything like
No,
that?
no, you know,
No.
I remember, when South by South Bend, South by South Bend was a thing, and then they had to change the name to Sounds by South Bend because they got after like 2 years, South by Southwest was like, nope, can't do that. You're a little too big for that to be allowed. Sorry.
I think this might have been on a little bit of a smaller
little smaller.
scale. Than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
That's gonna be fun though when you're up there, doing those kind of collaborations. I mean, there's so much of the work and the business side of it and all that. But when you're up there on stage, just kind of messing around with other bands and having fun, when you came out during Abby's set, or when you're talking about doing songs like that with, other bands and kind of getting together and just having fun. Like, is that where it's at for you? Is that,
Yeah. We love collabing with musicians and having like guest features during shows as much as possible.
Totally.
Like we did a like surprise like Mother's Day anniversary party for my parents and had my brother come on for the whole set.
Nice.
That was cute.
Yeah.
We played some of the songs that he wrote too. That was really fun.
That's sweet. Yeah. So the what do you guys see as far as in the local scene? Like, what things do you enjoy about what we have going on here? Because from my perspective, I'm not really an outsider, but I grew up in Bridgman, and I went and wandered the earth for a while, and I kind of ended up in Niles sort of on accident. And I was a little bit shocked in a positive way by the quality of the scene we have. And then we've seen it go through its challenges, we had a big spike for a while in, 2010 or so, and then it kind of lost its energy. Then we had a pandemic and, but like there does seem to be this, foundation that just doesn't give up in the local music scene. So I mean, what are you guys seeing out there as far as the scene, and like what's what you love about it, what's working for you?
I mean, there's a ton of talent. There's so many people all around us that are so good, which is so inspiring. And like I was 10 times worse when we first started V.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we just keep hearing from people like, I think that's the best you guys have ever sounded.
Yeah, well, you've got to elevate your game in the scene. So,
I know.
Yeah.
People are always getting better. People are always getting more creative. People are always pushing.
Yeah.
But people are always also willing to hang.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone in the scene is just friendly.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like we all kind of know each other one way or another. And, you go out sometimes, you see them, have a quick conversation. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of cross between bands too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, and I like how it kind of ties into the larger art scene too. Like there's the Potters Guild and Goshen that we have a lot of connections with.
Yeah.
We did a show at the Crystal Shop in Goshen, Hive of Light.
Yeah.
That was super fun. But yeah, I think the bed of the arts scene in the area helps with fostering the music scene too.
Yeah. What is that about? Because Goshen is has its own very particular thing going on, and I find it fascinating. I hadn't gotten out there much. I'd go out there for the record store on occasion, but I really didn't spend a lot of time there till the Riverbend Film Festival a couple of years ago.
Right.
And I was there for a few days in a row, and I really plugged in and saw what was going on out there, and it just kind of blew my mind. Like, what are you guys doing out there? It's amazing.
I couldn't even tell
No
you.
idea.
What's in the water?
I mean, and coming up, growing up in Goshen, I never really thought about it until you're not in Goshen and you're just like, wow, like there's art on streets and just like murals and just sculptures and everyone is just doing something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, was that always the case as you guys were growing up, or
I don't
did it
think
evolve
so.
out of that, or out of
Yeah, I think if I had to guess, it evolved when they kind of revived like the whole downtown and started doing the First Fridays, and then you can have like artists do stuff for that, and then it kind of brings the whole community together.
Yeah. Yeah. It
First
really
Fridays
does.
is really fun.
Oh, yeah.
We played that May 23. That was really cool.
Yeah. Did you guys witness any pushback as those kind of things evolved? So I'm the chair of Niles Main Street here, so I'm very involved in the local scene, and it's always interesting. You do all this work to change things and evolve a town toward the better, and you always get that segment of the population that kind of pushes back. They don't want the change or whatever.
Yeah,
and do you guys witness any of that stuff in your time?
I can't say I did.
I was very young.
Yeah.
when all that was
Also,
happening.
I was also
Yeah.
very young.
The train was already going by the time you were
Yes.
aware. Yeah.
We were in
Yeah.
middle school, high school,
Yeah.
in
elementary school when they're doing when did First Fridays even start?
It's a good
I
question.
just kind of feel like I just grew up with that being
Sure.
a thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, it's just odd too because you think of well, there are a lot of things you can think about the state of Indiana, right?
Yes.
And then especially when you start going that direction, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere a little bit. The drive from Niles to Goshen, there's a lot of cornfields in between here and there.
Yes.
And I remember at the film festival a couple years ago, I was just the level of art that was out there and the music that was out there and just the acceptance. I remember seeing so many people from the LGBTQ community out there, very comfortable and accepted. And it just, it's not the thing that stereotypically you think you're going to find in Indiana.
Right.
So it's really cool. I mean, it's people don't sleep on Goshen. It's a fun place. So it's worth the drive every time I go out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even driving here today, I don't remember the last time I was in Niles. And,
Yeah.
And I'm like talking to Evan, like, is this the right way?
Oh yeah, we're doing it here. Niles is it. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just like cornfields, and we're just like on a country road. and I'm
Yep.
like, what? Where are we? And then it's like, oh, okay, we're here.
Yeah, you just
All right.
yep, just keep on riding.
Yeah.
Yeah, Niles is a cool town. It's also worth the drive from Goshen. We've got a lot of fun stuff happening here. In fact, we're hopefully eventually going to have a really cool outdoor stage right down the street from here. And I don't know, it seems like maybe Be the Band will have to come play once we get that going.
Totally.
So
Totally.
yeah. So do we have a release date for the album, or is it kind of see where things are? I mean,
I think we're gonna record.
Yeah.
Last couple weekends of July, and then we'll see what happens.
all right.
Yeah.
You guys doing it all yourself? Or are you locking up a studio, or what's going on?
We are one of my friends, Gabe Ziegler. He's a really cool guy. He's done some mixing work for us in the past. He and his friend have turned a house into like this home studio. We're talking
Nice.
like routing cables through walls and doors, and like dedicated a whole room to being like a cabinet room. So they've got a sweet setup. So we're gonna hang out with them for a nice long weekend and just pound it out.
Very nice.
Yeah, but no release date yet. We'll figure that out as we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to get you on the record or anything for
Yeah,
that,
yeah. Right. Don't want to disappoint the fans.
Yeah. So, what are you guys listening to now? I mean, what's
I'm a bit of everything.
Yeah,
Still.
yeah.
I mentioned King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Still my favorite band, and Birches.
Yep.
We geek out over that a lot, especially when they go on tour. Like, oh, they teased this song. They started playing stuff from the new album. Yeah, doing a little bit of a foray into heavy metal, which is interesting because that's probably one of the last genres we'll explore as a band.
Probably.
yeah. So does that stuff, like as what you're listening to, does that play into what you guys then do as a band?
For me, it does. Like, kind of the curse of being in a band is now that I kind of analyze everything I listen to as a musician. I'm like, oh, these are the chords they're playing. They did these effects, but then I can apply it to my own music, and I do that often.
Nice.
I remember I was listening to "Work This Time," which is a song by King Giz, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my goodness, there's like on like the overheads, there's like a tremolo on the overheads. It's like the same time as like the tremolo on the guitar. I was like, how did I never notice that? That's crazy. Or like even like we watched Southside Denny at GVCO on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we were in the middle of a conversation, and as soon as he starts playing, I like turn and I start like looking at him. And Evan, who I forget who you're talking to, but it was like, yeah.
At Birch, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like, Evan just entered analysis mode. And I just like my mind just clears whatever I was saying, and I just turned and I'm just like,
Trying to make out which pedals he's using
Exactly.
from far away. and-
exactly.
It's amazing how deep that world can go. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the PRF crew at all, but they are just a bunch of people that know each other from message boards online, sharing, I like tweaked this thing on my guitar pedal, and now I got this sound out of it. And I don't play music. I'm a huge music fan, but I don't play music.
Okay.
And so to see that world, once I started getting to know them a little bit, and to see that world and realize just how deep that can go, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it is a rabbit hole that I feel like I am just barely dipping a toe in, and
Yeah.
it's already so terrifying. Our friend Russ, who's in Jagalchi.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my God, so fun.
Yeah.
But he's dived in.
Oh, you would have to
So-
be with the way
yes.
they sound. I would imagine. Yeah.
And just what he can do is just so amazing. I just one, I feel so hesitant to spend the money on all those pedals. but
Sure.
just don't know. Yeah, the understanding too. It's just crazy. I'm just not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we counted 45 pedals on their stage last show we played that.
Yeah. Yes. And ours are
We have,
one.
I have a sustain pedal for my piano.
Yeah.
I have 0.
Yeah. We need to get you some pedals, Isaac.
I know I do need to get a pedal board.
Talk to Nick.
So are you open to evolving the sound of the band? I mean, or is there a core something you're trying to hold on to, or are you just kind of going for it and seeing where the world takes you?
I think we hope to constantly be evolving,
Yeah.
Definitely.
trying out incorporating and fusing new styles of music
Yeah.
into our existing sound.
100%.
Yeah.
And as we get better as musicians too, 100%, we'll keep coming back to the same things and saying why did I do it like this? It's because I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can come back and keep kind of revamping and forging ahead as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you never know, because some bands do kind of lock into their sound, and then that's what they do, and a lot of times that's what the fans like. Me personally,
True.
not that I don't enjoy that. I mean, if they do a thing and they do it well, that's great. But I also love a band that evolves and throws something new at me with every new album or performance or that kind of thing. I mean, that's where the magic is, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any? Are there any things that you actually are targeting in that sound evolution? I mean, is there something that you want to try? I don't know. Is there a be the band? I don't know, a ska album coming or something? I don't know.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Country album. What kind of things do you want to play with?
I am trying to get these guys on board with a bluegrass album.
Nice. Okay.
I've
That's
been
the first
saying-
I'm
That's the
hearing over
first
this.
I have
That
ever
is just
heard.
not true.
No,
Back
I've never ever
back
heard you.
2 years ago.
I'm down.
When I
years
first
ago.
told you about the upside down eye, is that
What's
when
the
you were
upside
telling-
down eye?
You didn't
And
tell
the
me
B.
about that either.
Wait. No, Isaac,
no.
you've never
I have.
once.
I have.
So this
I have.
bluegrass.
Do you remember Queen of the Bar when I brought that to you?
We've tried
It
to
was
play.
it was all the way back then when I was like, guys, let's do bluegrass.
Who plays what in this bluegrass formation?
I'd be playing upright.
Well, I play guitar.
Clearly.
You play guitar, I learned how to play mandolin.
There you go.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. All right.
Okay. I'm down.
Definitely.
What's holding us? Why are you holding us back, Isaac?
I dropped it because you
Why do you-
guys said no.
Why do you keep dragging your feet?
Bluegrass. I like it.
Bluegrass would be fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I did just get a new acoustic guitar.
See, going back to your roots.
Yes,
Really.
that's
so,
right.
Yeah. I think it needs to happen. I think we need to see that B Bluegrass album. So
That'd be good.
B stands for bluegrass.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good name.
There you go. There you go. We actually have. Have you guys ever been to River St. Joe out in Buchanan? It's a brewery.
Oh, no.
They do. It's once or twice a month on Sundays. They'll do this basically like bluegrass jam session where everyone just shows up with their acoustic instruments, and it could be a mandolin, guitar, it could be spoons, whatever, and they just gather in one of the tents out there because it's this great brewery that's out on the farm. So they grow their own hops there. There's a restaurant. They grow all the vegetables for the restaurant there. So it's this gorgeous, amazing space. Highly recommend checking it out.
What's it called again?
River St. Joe.
In Buchanan.
In Buchanan, yep, well worth it. Amazing beer, food's really good, and like I said, it's like they bring it out of the garden and they chop it up and make it into stuff in the back. It's so cool. But yeah, they do this cool event where you show up and you're sitting out there basically on the farm, and it could be 4 people, it could be a couple dozen people just sitting around jamming, someone tossing out a song. It's so old school, Americana. It's amazing. And so I don't play anything, so I just show up and I grab a beer and I just sit down and take it all in, and it's a fun time.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep. Yeah. We're doing good things up here in Michigan too. You guys got to come this way a little bit.
We
more
do.
often, too.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to send more emails.
Send more emails.
That's really what it is. At the end of the day, it's about sending more emails.
Send more emails. That's something we all need more of in our life.
That's right.
Is sending more emails. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. What else? So, all right. So, you guys. So it sounds like Fort Wayne's kind of the farthest out you've been.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what do you? I'm always kind of curious about what occurs in the van driving down to these things. Are you guys together? Are you guys separate?
Well,
Is there a little fighting in the
We
ring?
don't have the band van yet.
Okay.
So it's usually 2 cars.
Yeah.
Evan makes me play the cover songs that we're doing on repeat so we can learn the lyrics.
Okay. All right.
I'm horrible at learning lyrics for the songs we cover. Like, terrible.
And then deep dives into my psyche when we're not doing that. Pretty much.
That's amazing.
So we did it on the way here.
Always working.
right.
Always working. What songs are you guys covering when you're playing live?
A lot of Beatles songs.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Psycho Killer by Talking Heads
Nice.
is one we've done.
Nice.
Sunflower by Vampire Weekend we've
Okay,
done a ton.
all right, yeah.
That's a good one to open
Yeah.
with because it's like
Gets
all
you
4 of
locked
us.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like a warm up too when
It
that
is.
opening riff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of scalar stuff.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Nice word.
I don't know.
Scalar.
Well, I think that's more with like vectors, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Oh, we're getting into the deep.
get it.
There's like
Right there, fist bump.
scales.
Oh. You're talking about math.
Well, yeah.
Should.
No, what? What do you mean? Like do math on stage?
Oh.
Bring a whiteboard?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen weirder stuff on stage,
What do they? What's that thing? They do like a, I don't know, where like an artist will like do like a little bit of like a lecture and like a little bit of a performance.
I mean, I know I had Brian Vander Ark in here a month ago, lead singer of the Verve Pipe, and he was talking about how he actually does that as part of his career now. So he will do these motivational speeches because, the Verve Pipe had the Freshman #1 hit, back in the day, and then their next album comes out on September 11th, 2001. And the
Yikes.
band basically falls apart, and then he had to rebuild his music career out of the ashes of that. And so he goes to these corporate retreats where they get motivational speakers and stuff to talk to these people, but they bring him in and he talks about surviving that process, and then at the end he plays the Freshman on acoustic guitar and all that. So he kind of is doing that, and it's like when he was, I had him on the show virtually. He was in the airport coming from one of those things right then, because that's like a viable thing. He goes out there and gives these motivational speeches about the rise and fall of the Verve Pipe, and it's pretty cool. So I mean, that's a thing, but I don't know the other thing. I mean, like a storyteller's kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe,
you
yeah.
know, like yeah, I like those kind of things. We're doing a thing with the Bergamot out at Vickers next month, where they're going to do that, where they're going to come out. They're playing some shows, but they're also going to talk about the music and their movie and everything like that to the audience. And it's kind of a nice thing to. People love the behind the scenes stuff. That's why podcasting's so huge and all that, because people want to hear the artists and what they're doing behind the music too. So yeah, you guys could do a little talky thing. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we did have an idea. It's been kind of in prototyping stages for a while, shelved, but like a live D&D campaign.
Nice,
We
all
provide
right.
The soundtrack for that in
Yes.
between narration.
Amazing. Are we all D&D players then in the room?
I've never played.
Isaac, you got to join us.
It's
One of
fun.
us. It's so
I
much.
want to. I don't know.
I've been playing with the same group for 20 years, and
Whoa.
it's a blast. Yeah. Actually, do you guys know Warren Zevon? American or Werewolves of London, that song, that guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have a D&D character that I've based off of one of his songs. It's called Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner. If you don't know the song, you should definitely check it out.
Okay.
I was like, I love that song. I'm going to make a D&D character based off of it. And it was a blast. It was good times.
The same party for 20 years.
Yeah, not the same party, the same group. We've gone through multiple campaigns. But,
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So, all right. As we wind down here in this D&D, Be the Band D&D campaign, what's your class?
Oh.
What are the classes?
Oh, wait.
Okay,
so have you never played?
I have not. Evan has played.
Oh,
I think.
okay. So I took that to think that you were like a OG. Okay, so you've played D&D.
Yes.
All right.
I think it'd be fun to be a cleric.
All right. So we got a cleric. Okay, so since they don't know, you get to assign their classes.
Oh, my goodness.
What's Isaac
Okay.
going to be?
I think Isaac is probably like some sort of paladin kind of deal.
All right.
What is that?
Think about like
a knight?
Like a knight, yeah.
Yeah.
okay, I'll
Holy
take it.
Knight.
I'll
Holy
take
Knight,
it.
yes.
I'll take it.
Holy knight. Evan, I don't know. I'd probably say some sort of like magic user, warlock.
I'm
or-
getting heavy Bard vibes actually.
Bard
I think
vibes
I think
would work,
Bard.
too.
I think Bard. So we'll look
Yeah.
into it. So yeah. All right. So we've got an album coming down the line.
Down
We've
the
got
line.
maybe some Dungeons and Dragons. Anything else on the horizon for you guys, or just doing some shows and jamming out?
We're hoping to, yeah, we're always looking to do more recording. I think hopefully this fall we'll do also more recording, maybe another greenhouse.
Nice.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, a live reading with soundtrack performances of the B movie script. Got that planned.
All right.
I think that's about it. The Minecraft server, getting that set up.
All right.
Be the beer, be the hot sauce.
Be the beer. Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It is a very brandable.
It's very
name.
brandable.
Very brandable name. I had the Rough and Tumble on here, and they on their website, their merch game is solid. They have a song all about spatula, or not all about spatulas, but they reference, stirring it up and like. So there's
Yeah.
spatulas in the song, and so they have on their website you can buy Rough and Tumble spatulas.
Oh, that's good.
It's like so the options. It's amazing.
Crock pot.
The crock pot. Oh,
Like
the
from
ramen swamp.
crock
Oh,
pot.
that would be good. That would be good. We should start keeping these.
See, yeah.
Hey, we're just dragging our feet on
You,
that
you know
part.
what? You got to do it. You got to do it. So
Be the band, honey. Be the band, the honey.
I mean, it's right there. It's
Oh,
yeah.
We also have a song called My Honey.
There you go. There you go.
We also
Yeah.
have a song called Flamin' Hot Cheeto Love.
That is also true.
I'm not sure you can actually sell those. I think there might be some
Yeah.
laws against
We
that.
have a
But
pickle song.
all right, see, you've got so many options. So many. All right, so we're gonna see a new album. We're gonna see maybe some Dungeons and Dragons, and then an array of bee-themed merchandise. I think
Yes.
that's what we're getting to here.
Food specifically.
Food specific, yeah. All right. Well, cool. All right. Well,
On the line, real quick.
oh, what?
Is that possible?
Is
Oh,
it
we're gonna try to
possible if I
dial
give
him.
a call?
Totally, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So, yeah,
You just hold up your phone to the.
we can do that. Yeah.
In between sets last night, so like the first set we ended, and Evan was like, "You're talking way too much. You have to talk less." And then we go out on stage to start the second half. We go out on stage to start the second half, and Evan
Sorry,
just
one more time.
into the microphone says, "Okay, I'm gonna start ranking the Star Wars movies." And it's like, no, okay. We need to start playing music. Come on, Burge.
Come on, Birch. He might not.
Yeah.
He might be busy.
Putting out fires.
Yeah, he is working.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'll answer a call during work.
Oh,
There he is.
we've got him.
All right, Birch. Do you have anything? Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, you're on with Anywhere the Needle Drops right now. We were sad you couldn't come to the studio, but we thought we'd dial you in for the conclusion here.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm super bummed that I couldn't come in, but thanks for calling me in. Yeah, hi everybody.
So we're winding the show down, but we've come across some important topics here in your absence, and so the first question I have for you is: if you were to play Dungeons and Dragons, what class would you be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I would be a druid is a class, right?
That is correct. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think I'd be a druid. I'd have like a bird's nest on my head or something like that.
Amazing. All right. And then also we were bouncing around merch ideas for Be the Band. So far there's been pickles, honey, and if they can clear the copyright, some Flaming Hot Cheetos. But what's your contribution?
Oh, I like that a lot. I think it would be cool to do. We've been wearing some jumpsuits for our shows, so I think it'd be cool to do some maybe white or yellow and black striped Be the Band officially licensed jumpsuits.
I like it.
Let's try.
All right.
Yellow and black.
Let's get real here for a moment before we let you go. So what are you excited about for the future of B? When I heard tell there's some work on an album coming up and some other stuff. So what are you excited about?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this next album we're going to be writing. It's all the songs are like the songs we've had since the beginning. So I think we've had a ton of time to flesh them out at this point. So I'm really excited to share those with the world. And then after we had our gig at the Elkhart Public Library last night, I feel really excited about the stage we're at with our chemistry. And our ability to play with each other. And I'm really excited to see some future gigs and what we're able to pull off.
Awesome. All right. Well, Birch, thanks for answering and popping on the show. And the rest of y'all in the studio here, this is Be the Band. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. All right. Take care, all. You have been listening to Anywhere the Needle Drops, a product of Red Chuck Productions. Be sure to keep tabs on everything going on with this show and everything else Red Chuck over at redchuckproductions.com or by following us at Red Chuck Productions on social media. Special thanks to Hero Jr. for our theme music. You can check them out, listen to their songs, and see where they're going to be over at herojrmusic.com. That's HEROJRMUSIC.com. Also, special thanks to Paul Clemson, our sound engineer and producer. And while you're at it, make sure you visit the websites and band camps and shows of all of our guests. If you want local music, if you want independent music, or any kind of art, you've got to support them. So give musicians and artists your money. We will see you at the next episode. Until then, here's to life. 'Cause I